that. I want y'all to understand something. Manny Pacquiao has made more young black fighters 8-figure checks than Floyd Mayweather have his entire career. I want y'all to understand. In the past 2 years, on his way out, talk about passing the torch. In the past 2 years on his way out, Manny Pacquiao gonna deliver an 8-figure check to Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao delivered an 8-figure check to Keith Thurman. Manny Pacquiao delivered an 8-figure check to Adrian Broner. In the past, 3 to 5 years, 3 to 5 years, he's made more black men 10-figure millionaires than Floyd Mayweather have his entire career. I want y'all to understand that. Shout
Green yelling cash rule, smell like Pacquiao, but under the leather, hold a Mac 10 pumping up in 10 the Grammy hour.
People say love is just an energy, dealing with the claim, baby. Thank you, Wu-Tang Clan, because you're nothing to fuck with, right? Okay, so what are the people saying? You know, 50-0. Well, you know what? Let's hear the propaganda that people like to say about this 50-0 and what I think about it being a virus to the sport. Okay, so let me hear something from Floyd family, right?
In some people's eyes, he probably is the greatest fighter of his generation, but when you got beat by somebody, you can't be better than him. So obviously he's not the greatest fighter.
So Muhammad Ali can't be the greatest fighter. Sugar Ray Robinson can't be the greatest fighter.
No, they ain't.
So you have to be undefeated. So Edwin Valero.
If it's based on boxing, yes, your record is the only thing that matters. Nothing else counts. You can do all the other great things outside of boxing, and still you're not the greatest fighter. Because
so when Chavez was 89-0, for example, he was the greatest
well,
fighter.
He was 89-0, but did he lose?
But at the time before he lost, he was
It
the greatest
doesn't
fighter.
matter.
Edwin Valero, the greatest.
Look, I could have went to Mexico and become 80-0.
That's what you're saying, though. Basically, the most wins makes you the greatest fighter.
No. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying how your career start and how your career finish. You're not based on what you did in between. It's based on what you did from day one until you decide I'm done with this.
But obviously, you're saying that because you're partial to your nephew.
It don't make no difference if I'm partial to my nephew or not. If it wasn't my nephew, I still would say the same thing.
But he didn't win 8 division world titles.
So what?
He fought people past
He
their
beat
prime.
Pacquiao. Did he beat Pacquiao? Did he beat Pacquiao?
Past his prime.
Okay, then.
And that's arguing. And that's by the judges.
How in the fuck is he past his prime when he's younger than you?
Most people.
How in the fuck is he past his prime and he's younger than you? Fuck that shit.
So there you go in a nutshell. Oh, a nut. Yeah. No one is greater than Floyd Mayweather. Not Sugar Ray Robinson, not Muhammad Ali, not Mike Tyson, not Lennox Lewis. No, this has had nothing to do with Manny Pacquiao and race and all this. This is, and Chavez, no one is greater than Mayweather because he has a 0, and that's greater than what anybody did in the past and whatever happens in the future. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? We are not talking about what makes you great outside the ring. Muhammad Ali, Manny Pacquiao. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what's going on inside the ring, right? And then he goes on to say, the 8th divisional fighter doesn't mean anything either, just as long as you have that 0. And this is what I call a virus. Because everybody is trying to live up to that expectation. Yes. And when you have a virus like this, I believe Manny Pacquiao was the cure. And you say, oh, here we go with the pack taunt. Well, I'm just giving you an opinion because Manny Pacquiao represents losing and winning, falling and getting back up. Falling in the early career when he got knocked out twice, came back, got knocked out again, came back, broke records, came back, and and this era ended up being the oldest welterweight champion, right? But 8 division, 5 lineal, it doesn't matter even let's take Manny Pacquiao. It doesn't even matter what goes on in the history of boxing, right? All that matters is that Floyd is undefeated. Now, let's dissect this a little bit more, because let me ask you a question. Like, don't you get mad? I mean, this is what we hear. This is what we hear. Man, I just want to see the best fight the best, right? And I'm not seeing Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. They both got O's and no one wants to let it go, right? And we hearing all the viruses, and there's no cure to this. And it's not in my head. I know this is not in my head. This is going on, right? We got fights that gets delayed. We get fights that gets postponed. We get fights that gets canceled, right? A majority of the time is with these people with the zeros and shit, right? And they're looking for the right time, you know, to feel the moment when the stars are aligned and shit, right? To say, okay, it's ready. I'm ready for you, right? And I feel this is a virus to boxing, right? And it's not saving boxing. Yeah, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, UFC fighters that not into UFC fighting anymore and decide to do a boxing match. They, the legends, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. And guess what? Yes, Holyfield got beat down the first round or whatever, and he wasn't prepared and he wasn't who he was. But Mike Tyson and Roy Jones made the highest pay-per-view lately, right? They made the highest pay-per-view, right? But guess what? If we didn't know the mentality and the physical state of Holyfield, well, Holyfield Mike Tyson Part 2 would have made more pay-per-view than Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. Can I get a amen? Amen. Okay, so we see nothing doesn't matter except the zero. And this is what's written in history. Doesn't matter your past heroes or your future heroes. If you ain't got the zero, you're not a hero. Now, I'm not a big Canelo fan, right? I'm not a big Canelo fan. So before you unsubscribe, just listen to me, hear me out. Because I'm not against Mexicans. Because if you didn't see my video, if you go scroll down 2 videos down, you'll say, I have a thumbnail with this idiot discrediting Chavez. And I'm a big Chavez fan. So this has nothing to do about Mexican. And I'm a black man taking up for Mexicans for what this fool said about your country and how he see it with his superiority. Say it right, nigga. Superiority. He said, I could go. So what? He was 89-0. Man, that's easy. I could go. Did you hear what he said? I could go to Mexico and be 80-0. Like, what are you trying to say? You're superior because, why? Because you think you could go over there and do that? And do that? You think he could do that? Because, you see, you got to read between the lines when people read between the lines. And I'm just going to be honest, bro. There's a race war going on out here, of course. That's why certain fights I don't talk about until after. Like Tyson Fury and Wilder. Usyk and AJ, right? Certain fights I don't talk about too much. But after the fact, I'll talk about, right? Because right now, there's a lot of go-go gadget, white Power Rangers, black Power Rangers, and Spanish Power Rangers. And all they want is to win by race. See, I'm free-spirited. Right? Let me explain to you what I mean free-spirited. I'm black, I'm brown, right? As you can see, but I like Manny Pacquiao and I like his style, right? So if I say I got Manny, if I say, let's get Manny Pacquiao. Let's say I said, well, I did say it, and if you look at one of my videos, I had Usyk beating AJ, but I didn't make a video about it. Because, you know, with the first thing they say, oh, yeah, Manny Pacquiao, now he got Usyk. He got something against his black people. But no, it's just the style that I like. And I like my southpaws. Like I always say in all my fucking videos, I like southpaws. And I like how they get down from Tank, from Lomo to Usyk, to all, from Errol Spence to Bruce Ennis that could switch. All these dudes, Crawford. I like their style. And the style didn't add up with AJ, right? So I pick Usyk. Now, these people right here that's emotionally retarded and they just pick race, that goes for Mexicans and blacks and whites, and they just pick the fighter for that. Well, they hurt more. They're going to hurt the most when their fighter loses. Where I am, I'm just picking it for the style. That's it. I'm picking it for the style, and that's it. But for you, you don't care about the style. You care about the white power, the black power, the Latin power, the Asian power. You just doing that. That's another virus. And it's going to stay in boxing forever. That's just the way it is. Get used to it. Or you could just complain and make a video so people say, yeah, you're right. They do this bad. We do this bad. There's so much racism in boxing. Well, guess what? We in the real world here. This is what's called racism, right? Okay. So if you listen to this man, 0, and you're not a hero. Bottom line. So there's another thing he said that interests me. He said, well, did he beat Manny Pacquiao? And yeah, he beat Manny Pacquiao, right? Like I said, everything is in the record books. Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. My opinion, Jeff Horn, they robbed Manny Pacquiao, right? So we have our opinions, even though we know we might all, the majority, say yes, Jeff Horn, he cheated, the referee cheated. Yeah, we got our opinions, but it's written in the history books and it's made a loss, all right? So I'm not going to argue anymore about that. But okay, so Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, right? And he's saying that Mayweather is greater than Manny Pacquiao. Then he said another thing. He said that, well, I'll let you listen to that. But let me just stick to this right here, and then I'll let you listen to what he said about the rematch, right? So the way I see it, if I come to you out of nowhere, and I say, you know, Buster Douglas is better than Mike Tyson. You like, nigga, are you out of your freaking mind? Or you telling me that because Buster Douglas beat him? And I said, yeah. Man, you must be out of your mind, man. And any other day, Mike Tyson would have whipped that ass. Mike Tyson had issues with Robert Givens. Mike Tyson was going through some money problems. Mike Tyson just was incarcerated. Mike Tyson, you give me all these reasons why Mike Tyson didn't beat Buster Douglas that day, right? You give me all these reasons. I say, no, I'm sorry, brother. Buster Douglas is better than Mike Tyson, right? And so on and so on. And you know there's boxers like Muhammad Ali. There's fighters that beat him. And you could say that Muhammad Ali is not the great because he got beaten by so-and-so fighter from Europe or this or that or this or Ken Norton broke his jaw. You can come on all this stuff. But once a fighter beats you, this is what he's saying. When a fighter beats you, that's it. Now, my problem with that is this. Let's run the track. Let's run the track real quick.
His career as a fighter, no, he's not better than Floyd, because I mean he lost to a guy with 7 fights.
Then why would Floyd never give him a rematch if he was a better fighter?
You don't have to. Anytime you fight
Because
somebody,
he lost the first fight, and if you
get the fuck out of here. No, the thing is that when you have somebody and you have a fight.
You know there's money involved, right?
Of course there's money involved. So what?
We could have got more money from him than anybody else. So why don't he fight?
He didn't need it. He already made $300 million.
He's fighting Logan Paul. He
made $300 million.
So why
did he need to fight him again?
Well, why did he need to fight him?
He didn't need to fight him. He did it because he wanted to.
10-pound Japanese
He did it because he wanted to.
Because he knows it's easy picking. He knows
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, but he's not gonna fight Manny because that's not easy picking.
No, Manny's done.
Oh man, you gotta like the hypocrisy, yo. It puzzles me, but you know when I argue, well not argue, because once I hear the foolishness, I just part ways, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm not gonna get nowhere with these people. And I'm not gonna say Flomos because I think that's a bad way of calling them. I'm just gonna call them Floyd fans. I don't get down with that word Flomo. All right, but when I asked them, and these are the Go-Go Gadget Power Rangers on the black hand side, right? Not talking about the white Power Rangers looking for the white hope, and we're not talking about the Latin and Spanish. We talking about what I get from my brothers, right? My brothers, right? This is what I hear. Well, why do Floyd have to give Manny Pacquiao a rematch? He did it right the first time, right? This is the foolishness. This is the foolishness, right? But they Power Rangers. They black Power Rangers. And majority of these black Power Rangers right now is worrying about what's going on with Wilder and Fury, right? Now, let me just give you a quick run up with this Wilder and Fury situation, because this is about to happen on Saturday. Real quick, I'm going to get back to the joint. I had Wilder win in the first match. It was a draw. It is what it is. You asked me how come I had Wilder win in the first fight. I said, well, he knocked him down twice. And the first 4 rounds, I had Wilder more aggressive than Fury, and Fury didn't do much, right? At the end, yes, Fury was outboxing Wilder and so on. But that was, to me, I think that wasn't enough with the 4 rounds and the 2 knockdowns, right? Then comes the second match. Hey, we had a rematch, man. Don't we think we deserve that? Yeah, we do deserve that. And what happened in the rematch? Now, regardless, if you think there was some cheating with the glove and rah, and everything that happened in the second match, and you have your suspicions, which you have the right to. You have the right to have those suspicions. And the reason why I say that, and that's why I say I'm not really of a Canelo fan, is because the Nandrolone, all right, the PDs that Tyson went through and got a suspension, right? So he's suspect, right? Canelo, these are facts. Please don't get your feelings hurt. Don't let me pinch your nerve. Don't let me pinch your nerve. I'm just saying the facts. Just like how, see, I have to always bring back a fact. Like Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao. I got over it, man. Please, just get over it, man. I'm just giving you the fact. Okay? I'm not on that white and black Power Ranger shit. But I'm just giving you a fact. Right? And he lost his license in the UK and all this shit like that. And he got suspended. Same thing with Canelo. Right? So, you have your right. But I'm not talking about the second match and if he did, and I'm not going to solidify that he did cheat in order to beat Wilder. That's not my game right now. That's not my game. The second match, Tyson Fury gave him an ass whipping and a boxing clinic and whipped that ass. Bottom line. Bottom line. So now when I go to the third fight, I'm like, damn. Okay, I see Wilder. He got a new Malik Scott. He's training. He's doing some, taking things out of his toolbox. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. And he's doing good. Looking like he got new tricks up to the sleeve. Then I look at Tyson Fury. He's putting on massive weight. Then he says he's gonna flex on the man right away. Right? He gonna come straight for him. Billy Badass heavyweight. Just gonna bound on this dude. Right? Put that weight on him. Right? So I'm like, damn, who do I got? Well, the way I saw the boxing match, and he put a boxing clinic on the second match, I pretty much got Tyson. But at the same time, Wilder got that shotgun, and it's ready. It's ready. So I'm still stuck on stupid when it comes to who I'm going to decide who's going to win. But bet your bottom dollar, if Tyson or Wilder win, it's not because of their skin color. It's because at that time they had skills. And you know what's so beautiful about this trilogy? They had the opportunity not to do it just once. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. See how I'm going to work on you? If Tyson beat him, right, and said the second time, and he said, man, listen, I beat him the second time. I don't have to do it the third time because I did it, and I did it the best the second time. What's the sense of me doing it the third time? Now, if he had said that, right? Well, you see, well, they had the arbitration, they had to go to court, and they had to go do this and that and that. And actually, he really didn't want whatever. But I'm saying, getting back to my story about rematches and getting back and doing it over. Doing it over. Manny Pacquiao, let me tell you something. I feel, maybe Manny Pacquiao would have kept on going, but I felt like Manny Pacquiao was trying to get that match with Mayweather. He was trying where he just left. He went straight to the PBC. He even fought a lot of boxers, Ugas. He was supposed to fight Spence. That didn't happen. He fought Keith Thurman, making him the oldest welterweight champion. He fought Vargas. He fought Broner, he did a lot, but he was looking forward for that match. And I'm pretty sure if Mayweather, money, not pretty, money, would have gave him that match, we probably would have seen a different realm of what was going on with Manny Pacquiao. Maybe he would have went for his presidential earlier than later, after he had won that match, right? Because that would have been a good opportunity after he won that match to go straight into that, right? The man's a hero in this country and all that, blah, blah, blah. So, you got to run it back. You got to run it back with icons, with champions. You can't cheat. So when you hear, let me tell you something, when you hear these dudes out there talking about, well, Mayweather did it right the first time. He don't have to do it the second time. Watch out for these people, man. Because they also a virus. They're also a virus. And they saving face for their race. That's what I'm trying to say. They saving face for their race. And okay, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. The Great White Hope, and the best black boxing. Look, Manny doesn't fit the description of a champion. He's small. I'm just giving you stereotypes. You know me, man. I'm a Manny Pacquiao. He's small. This is what I'm seeing on the outside, man. He's small. He doesn't fit the muscular, tall, 6'8" pack, white brother or black brother and all this. I'm just saying this is how I feel. And there's a lot of clashing with this shit, man. To me, Manny, there's a couple of things I like about boxers. I like a smaller man beating a bigger man. That's one. I like to see a bigger man that's agile on his feet and a great boxer. I like that too. I like to see a big man move like a small man in the ring. And I like my southpaws and I like their footworks, because footworks are better feints than these hands. If you got feints with your feet, you leading and pacing the next boxer. Because that man gets hypnosis and hypnotized, and he doesn't know if he's going to put the jab in or the jab out, and does not know what to do if you got a lot of feints with your feet. So, that's why I always like Manny Pacquiao, because he's in and out and stuff like that. And I like Usyk and stuff like that. But like I said, sometimes you just can't come out. If you for someone that's not your skin color, and you come out and say, well, I'm for this one. Then all of a sudden again, you say, well, I'm for Usyk. I'm like, this nigga's always picking his black fighters. But I also picked Tank to win, to beat Barrios. Right? But what I'm saying is, let me stick back to the plan here. Running back is the key element of boxing. I don't know how many rematches that Floyd had. I think he was Castillo and Madonna. That was the only two. Manny Pacquiao running back with Timothy Morales. Come on, we know Barrett. We know all of them. He ran it back with the great ones. But he don't have a zero. So he's no hero. You see what I'm getting at, man? So when you hear somebody say, oh, man, Mayweather did it so perfectly, even though he didn't put Manny Pacquiao on Bambi legs. I'm not talking about the excuses. Bambi leg with the shoulder on. Bambi legs. He didn't buckle Manny. He didn't stun Manny. He won a 12-round decision. And I feel, just like how you feel right now that you're ready for this trilogy with Tyson Fury and Wilder, I feel like I saw the trilogy with Tyson and Holyfield. I feel the great ones supposed to run it back. And the great ones feel they need to run it back. But if you're one of those dudes that don't want to run it back, and you're great, well, it speaks for yourself. That's also a virus. That's also a virus. All right. I got a part 1, part 2. This is not the video I was talking about that I was going to talk about. Right. This is just part 1. I got another part 2. Right. I don't want to make this long because people are attention span and shit. Right. We living in a TikTok era. That's what. Oh, hey, talking about TikTok. I finally got TikTok. I just, my young blood, he taught me about this shit because I don't have Instagram and I only have YouTube. I don't have Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, none of that shit. And he's like, why don't you just do that and link it up to you? So I got TikTok, same thing, Captain Food G, all in one. You'll find me on TikTok doing a little thing like that, linking in. I'm having a little fun. But back to what I was saying. Get the shit out of my face. Back to what I was saying. So let's move on to more to what he's saying. Let's move on. And I'm giving you all these viruses that's going on that's causing you for not to see these zeros become a loss. I'm sweating in here. I don't want to put the AC on. I love the heat. I like to thrive.
Manny's done, and he can
And
join.
Floyd was done. And Floyd was done fucking 4 years before that.
So do we see them on the exhibition circuit? Maybe they can have a rematch.
Who knows? Maybe. I see De La Hoya all of a sudden now is calling out Floyd.
Yeah. So I mean, we know Floyd won't take it, right? Because we know it's a
Probably
fight.
don't. He probably won't, because I wouldn't fight a guy that everything that I did he criticized. Floyd, you fighting this guy, you fighting Conor McGregor. That's some bullshit. But now all of a sudden you're doing the same thing. Why would I allow you to make money off me? I wouldn't give two fucks about helping him make any money.
Right, so this is the characteristics, right? Now, he said, I hear Oscar De La Hoya is offering $100 million, blah, blah, blah. And he's saying that I hope my nephew don't take that fight, because now these are the reasons. Now, my reasons why I think Floyd should not take that fight with Oscar De La Hoya, because, let me push it back in your face. Well, he fought Oscar De La Hoya. See, this is the virus. Why fight him for $100 million if you beat him the first time? Yeah, you beat him the first time, and you did it right the first time. Why would you fight Oscar De La Hoya? You see the virus? I'm trying to spread the germs to you, right? But this is the reason why I'm going to give you my reason. It's because what's the sense you coming back to fight Oscar De La Hoya for $100 million when you could have fought Manny Pacquiao for more than that, and your name is money, not pretty. Your name is money, it ain't pretty, right? So why would you go and fight a professional boxer, yeah? And you could have fought a professional boxer that was not done yet and make more money. Nothing about wrong with the legends. But for Floyd, you should not come back. You should not come back and fight a professional boxer, especially a boxer that you already fought already. Because if you give me that same energy with Manny, give me that same energy with Manny where you said, I did it the first time, while I'm doing the second time. Yeah. Right. Okay, so that's my reason. Now, his reason is because of some petty shit. Now, I'm 48, right? I'm 48, and I let me tell you something, youngins. Let me tell you something with this new generation. I know my generation, and I know your generation. Guess what you don't know? You haven't lived in my generation, but I lived in your generation. So I know more than you. Regardless what you think or say, I don't want to hear it, man. And I'm being very stush about it right now. I'm being real stush about it. Because I lived in my generation and I'm living in yours, and I'm seeing viruses in boxing. Now let me give you an example why. For him to say that this is the reason why I don't want him to fight Oscar is because, you know, he did this and he said that about that and he said that. Listen, man, back in my days when you say something, you handle it in the ring, man. You handle it in the ring. And let me give you an example of a future right now that's going on that's a virus. Well, Errol Spence. Yeah, I'm on his shit right now. Errol Spence. Keith Thurman is calling him out. And this is the response that Errol Spence gave to Keith Thurman. Errol Spence said, nah, man, you ain't give me the opportunity, so why should I give you? Are we in boxing? Are we in fucking boxing? Because I remember when somebody says something about your mama, your pappy, your girlfriend, or whatever, or you didn't give me an opportunity. You know what my fucking energy is about? Yeah, nigga, you ain't give me that energy. We're going to figure it. I'm going to put your ass out in the ring. And I'm going to show you why you didn't give me that opportunity. This is boxing. This is not fucking knitting and shit. This is boxing. This is not a fucking playing boxing. This is fighting. This is the real shit right here. So when somebody say, oh, you didn't give me the opportunity. You didn't give me the opportunity because, you know, at the time. So I'm going to do the same shit. Tag. Now you're it. Feel what I was feeling. Nigga, make that nigga feel it in the fucking ring, man. And this is what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about, my generation to this generation. And you only know what you know in your generation. And then it's going to be the same thing with your kids, where you're going to know your generation and their generation. Fucking yampy my eye. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. This is another virus that people are not peeping, and I'm hearing it. I'm hearing boxers, they say, I'm not gonna help you get money because but at the same time, when you're not trying to help that man get money and you're not letting the boxing fans, you're spreading your fucking virus, and you're telling the boxing fans, I'm leaving this virus for you because I don't personally, I feel some kind of way of what this man said or his actions he did outside the ring. Outside the ring. Then this motherfucker said, it doesn't matter what you do outside the ring, it's what you do inside the fucking ring. So you have a little fucking chitter-chatter fucking thing going on with each other, and y'all can't come to agreement because of what this man did in the past, and now you trying to make him feel it in the future? Nigga, get your ass in the ring and fight Keith Thurman, man. Get your ass in the ring and fight Keith Thurman and make him feel it in the ring. Say, yeah, after you knock him down or whatever happens in the fight, you look down on him and say, yeah, now we know why you didn't give me why you didn't give me the opportunity when I was first coming up on the scene, crispy and clean. Fuck up here, man. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Every time I talk about Floyd, I get in this pissy mood, man, where I gotta take a freaking massive piss. It's like my last video. I'm just saying, man, every time I talk about this dude, I get in a pissy ass attitude, man. And this virus, man. Seriously. Alright. Let me just jiggle this shit. Look at it. No, I'm fucking jiggling. Come on, nigga. Right. Pissy mood, man. Pissy mood. I'll throw that shit out right now in a little while, man. But I don't want to stop this shit because I'm on the roll, man. I'm on effing roll. Yeah. Right? So, these little viruses that's going out. Boxers shouldn't be thinking and acting this way when it comes to, yeah, he did this to me, so I'm going to let him feel it. Nigga, this is what you call boxing. This is your career. Handle that shit in the ring. Just because somebody hurt your feelings, you can't fucking do a boxing match? Another fucking virus. All right, let's move on. You know what? I was going to move on, but I'm tired of hearing Jeff Mayweather. I'm tired of hearing him talk, and it's kind of making me want to take a shit. You know what I'm saying? I just took a piss. Now, I got to take a shit now because the more times I see this guy's clips of what he's saying. Now, he did say something about Manny and Mayweather in their prime, right? And I always hear this shit that Mayweather say, right? Are not excuses, right? It's an excuse, not a virus. But, excuses could be viruses, right? Because we always say excuses. But this thing, I just want to solidify this shit right here. There's your chronological age and your biological age, right? Yes. What did you say? Oh, Mayweather's older than Manny Pacquiao. Yes. You get a fucking star in your fucking head for showing us this fucking, Let me tell you something. Mayweather looked at Manny Pacquiao and said, oh no, this nigga too smart. This little nigga here, he too fast for me right now. Regardless if Mayweather's older, right? He's a defensive fighter. And he said, well, yeah, Manny, we both in our prime, but our prime is different. Your chronological age is the one that states that you're so-and-so age, and your biological age states and say this is your age, right? And if I'm sitting back and I'm trying to be strategic on when I'm going to fight this brother here, this other prime fighter, and I'm being strategic and I'm putting viruses and all kinds of shit out and I'm trying to figure out when's the right time to strike, then I'll be like, oh no, this dude here, he's too fast right now. Let's wait a little bit longer. Oh no, he's too fast right now. Let me wait a little bit longer, right? And then when I start to see maybe he lost the fight, maybe I see him slow down to the point where my defensive styles will work and win, and I have a chance to win, well, that's when I'm going to strike. So regardless, when I hear this thing about, oh, yeah, we both in our prime, and matter of fact, I'm older than Manny by a year, right? Because I think Mayweather's 43 and, yeah, or something like that, and I think Manny Pacquiao is 42 and he become 43 in this December, right? And then Floyd would be 44. But regardless, there's strategic ways of when you want to fight, and this is what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about this because we don't see the fights when we want to. How long we had to wait? 5 years. Now you'll come up with excuses about Manny Pacquiao, he want to take the drug test. And I can make excuses about Mayweather. And this is a fact. This is a fact. He had an IV in his arm right after the weigh-in with Manny Pacquiao, talking about he needed saline, vitamins, and minerals to put back in his body because he had to rehydrate, which you're only 154 pounds. You don't rehydrate. You don't need to drink a fucking Gatorade. Matter of fact, drink 2 Gatorades, all right? You don't need to have a fucking butterfly up in your fucking vein talking about, this is the reason why I got caught because I was rehydrating, knowing using minerals, vitamins, and all this shit can mask anything, right? Right? Then you're going to talk about he's on PEDs, but the fact is that he never got caught. And Canelo fans always do this. Oh, Manny's on PEDs. But they totally forget about... See, this is what I'm saying. You forgot about Canelo getting caught, right? But Manny's not suspect. He took 4 times VADA testing, right? So we could go into all these opinions and stuff like that and forget the whole focus about it, right? About what's going on and why we didn't see the match in 5 years and this and that. We could go tit for tat all day at the barbecue, at the baby shower, on the porch. We could go crazy all day about why this fight didn't happen, and I could give you negatives about what happened to Floyd, and you could give me negatives about, man, they didn't want to take the drug test, and I always bring back the butterfly and the proof, and I can show you the proof the next video if you want me to. I could go through all the mumbo jumbo, right? But strategically, fighters fight fighters at the right time. Either the fight is too green or too old, or he just got a loss. This is all strategic. All right? So when I hear that shit about, yeah, we both was in our prime, like Mayweather think we fucking dotish and dumb, and that's the fucking reason. I'm older than him. Anyway, I'm done with this because I'm constipated with the fucking bullshit with Jeff Mayweather, and I gotta go. Now, in my videos, I always forget to say, I know you ain't gonna like me, so just fucking thumbs down, whatever the fuck you do. But all I ask you to do is share. Because my opinion on this virus that's going on needs to be out there. Share. Subscribe. If not, well, whatever. It is what it is. I keep forgetting my last videos. My young blood was like, yo, you gotta say share, like, and I'm like, all right, fine. Share, like, thumbs down, whatever. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read in between the lines. I think I've given you enough lines to read in between. And now I'm going to do a part 2. On this zero and this virus. And you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised what all this that Jeff Mayweather said and what Mayweather's saying about him being the best ever, how it's going to work out in his benefit at the end, to tell you the truth. You're going to be like, what? How you say all this now? And, well, remember about my generation and the new generation never wasn't my generation? Well, we're going to get to that in the next video. Peace, be out, have fun. I don't care if you don't like me. Enjoy not liking me. Gives me ambition. Yeah. All right, I'm out.